this podcast.
That would seem about right for this. Goddamn dogs. Quitting is so hard. I'm doing my best. But yeah, on that, I got the Chiefs LIV Super Bowl letter. Keeping it real. Liking all that glare. Welcome back to another episode of Sauced Up Sports. You'll notice that the intro music is not normal, and that's because two of my computers decided to basically crap out. Now we're on an old, what basically equates to 95 Windows something computer. So graphics and stuff like that did not transfer over. Thank you, technology. Really appreciate that. But on the upside, probably starting next week, Ryan decided to take his big, massive amount of money and just drive deep into, buying us some new equipment. So we should be a whole lot more professional and...
Thanks, stimulus check.
Speaking of stimulating things. But yeah, that's definitely probably on the docket for this next week. We'll be working on that, for the first few weeks, trying to get everything dialed in, but everything should look a whole lot better than it does right now when we both look like extras on the movie Casper. So,
bear with characters.
Yeah. So bear with us on this one. We'll try to do the best that we can. Speaking of doing the best that they possibly can, there was a certain 53-year-old out there right now that is absolutely doing more than the best that he can. You're the one who brought it up to me and turned my attention to the videos. Why don't you tell the people about it?
Yeah, man, Mike Tyson, love him or hate him, like he's been putting out these videos. He wants to come back to boxing, right? So
is that the overlying thing he is saying?
He wants to get on a card. I don't know who he wants to fight, and like we were talking about, neither one of us are big boxing people. But after, Tyson's arguably the greatest to ever do it. Holyfield.
Muhammad Ali. I would say
Muhammad Ali's probably, but different eras, whatever. So these videos he's been putting out, and I'm sure you've seen them. All of you out in the land is probably, dude, he is an absolute animal. And I am all for Mike Tyson coming back at 53. Getting on a card, getting in the ring, and absolutely beating the shit out of somebody. And I do want it to be a legit, not some bum off the streets, whatever.
Right.
But dude, these videos are impressive, and like even his bag guy, when they're hitting bags, he was like, dude, I saw my family, my life, everything flash right in front of my eyes as soon as Tyson started hitting those things.
Dude, he was hitting those bags harder than Craig was hitting the fucking blunt on Friday. I mean, that was...
And he's fast, and he looks good still, and it's...
I've never been more afraid of a 53-year-old whose name wasn't Dolph Lundgren or possibly Chuck Norris. Look, we're all really starved for sports right now, so basically anything... But I don't like using that as an excuse. Carrington Harrison from 610 was talking about that earlier today, saying, no, this is all dumb guys, we're just starved for sports. I don't care if everything was in full swing right now. If you told me that 53-year-old Mike Tyson was going to come out and have one last, hurrah in the ring.
And then saw those videos?
Yeah, no, those videos scared me, and I wasn't even in the same room.
Yeah, if you haven't seen him, just YouTube Mike Tyson, and I guarantee you the first video that comes up will be him hitting those bags with like a big gray beard. And
who would be? I mean, is there anybody that would even? I don't know any heavyweight fighters right now.
I'm sure there's. I think that it'd just be a matter of anybody that's legit, like getting good cards right now. I don't know if they'd do it because it'd be too shticky, like too much of a.
Well, they fought Conor McGregor versus Pacquiao. I mean, that was kind of shaky.
That was McGregor.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was
McGregor Mayweather.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, they were both still, legit fighters. Maybe not I mean, maybe
it was streaky in the sense that, you know,
it was
Conor,
MMA boxing.
Right. Well, Conor was out of his element, whereas Mayweather was completely in his element. You know, hey, no bullshit. I thought Conor did pretty good for jumping to a completely, I don't want to say completely different sport. It's not like he went from like ice lugeing to football, but having to change up the way that you attack and everything and defend. I thought he did a pretty good job.
And the way Mayweather fights, he's an evader. He doesn't want to stand in there and just bang. He's a smart boxer. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
his footwork's there and his ability to do so.
Yeah. Long story short, check out that video and we don't normally talk boxing, but
this is definitely worth looking into if you haven't already. You should probably go on Twitter and look it up. That's where a lot of the good clips are. And let's just go ahead and bring it back up because I completely forgot to do it in the beginning. Make sure you follow us at Sauced Up Sports on Twitter. You can also follow Ryan at the Pesquire Fool. Now, I did want to talk about another foolish-sounding thing that came out today, which by the time you guys get this podcast, it will probably be a couple days old, but damn it, that's not going to stop me from talking about it. Kansas City fan favorite who pretty much put the dagger in the 49ers' hearts in the Super Bowl, Sammy Watkins, was recently interviewed by Tyler Dunn of Bleacher Report. And I have to tell you this, I'm not going to give everything away because it's an absolutely amazing interview. It's very long, but it's totally worth your time. You absolutely should dedicate 20 to 30 minutes to reading this thing because it's captivating, okay? Even if you don't like football, if you're not a Chiefs fan, literally just listening to this guy's background and the things that he says is crazy. But I'm going to give you a little excerpt, okay? Let's go ahead and start with...
And I haven't read or heard any of this,
right,
by the way.
So, hang on tight. Watkins has a few million more thoughts on the universe and our place in it. You're looking at his human body right now, a 6'1", 211-pound wide receiver for the Chiefs, but Watkins says he may also be playing the game as something completely different and takes a few guesses here. A dinosaur? A dog? A horse? Yeah, maybe a horse. It's all possible, he says, because we've all been reincarnated back and forth and keep coming back. We spiral through a matrix until one day we find a way out of this world. If he ever has a son, Watkins may just leave his body and, why not, come back through him. Don't know why you would kick your son out of his own body to come back through it, but that's all on him.
That's it.
Yep. Heaven and hell exist right here in our brains. What side will you choose, he asked, the good wolf or the bad wolf? Dreams are not merely dreams. Watkins believes we all move through an astral realm in which you can manifest outcomes into the physical world, like the past AFC Championship game. Yes, he made that all happen. He hears voices that tell him when danger is near. He knows for certain that words cast spells. He knows spirits, entities he calls them, move through us via the etheric body, one of the 7 bodies of multi-dimensional consciousness. They can be good, they can be evil. They all want to experience our physical world. Most humans are not conscious of them. He is. He can consciously ignore evil spirits trying to cling to him, but he also believes this. When he refuses to let that evil spirit get it what it wants, it can cling to someone close to him. Oh my God, if I cannot tell you how crazy this whole story gets. There's one last piece that if I can get to it real quick and find it, I definitely wanted to read because it is absolutely amazing. The things that he believes he can do with his body. I can't find it right off the top, and I'm not going to waste everybody's time.
I thought he was a solar reptilian,
ethereal body, something like that. Yeah. Long story short, at one point he talks about how when they were playing the first game of the season last season against the Jaguars, there was a time where he had told the defender, no, and that cast a spell on the defender, and the defender stopped because he told him.
I love Sammy Watkins.
He is amazing. Can you think of a better person to have a few beers with than a guy that thinks he's an ethereal, solar, reptilian, supernatural being
and cast spells.
And can cast spells with his...
That's pretty impressive.
I'm not going to lie. Now, the rest of this...
I'm glad we paid him all that money,
yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that on-field production,
but you know what?
But all that other shit is awesome.
Entertainment value, he totally has it. So, I just want to say this. Another thing, too, if you're a Chiefs fan, make sure that you check that out, because by the end of it, you'll see kind of how the organization treats him differently than anyone he's ever been in, how he's reacted. It's a really, really good story. But the main focus is Sammy Watkins.
Kind of crazy.
Kind of batshit crazy, all right? So, when it comes to funny quotes like Sammy Watkins was giving on here, I decided I wanted to play a game with Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to give you a few off-the-wall quotes, and I want to see if you can name the athlete who said them.
So they're all athletes.
They're all athletes. They're not all football.
Okay.
We're going to start with the easiest one, because I want to get you in and ready, okay?
Don't call it easy, because I'll probably fucking get it wrong.
When you're rich, you don't write checks. Straight cash, homie.
Oh, NBA.
Nope. NFL.
Damn it.
One of the best wide receivers ever.
I can hear it in my head. Straight cash, homie.
Yep. Played with Tom Brady. Played with the Vikings.
God damn it.
I got
It ain't Steve Smith, is it? Steve Smith Jr.?
Oh. That is Randy Moss.
Randy Moss?
Yep.
I can hear it in my head. Straight cash, homie.
And you would be right. That is exactly how he said it. I'm going to save this one for last because you're never going to get it, but it's probably one of my favorite quotes ever. So this one of the more prolific athletes at his sport. He said, "Hockey is a sport for white men. Basketball is a sport for black men. Golf is a sport for white men dressed like pimps."
Give me the sport.
Golf.
A golfer said that?
Mm-hmm. One of the most prolific golfers ever.
John Daly?
He's still alive. Who the hell is John Daly?
What?
Jack Nicklaus even I know, but I don't know about John Daly.
Well, it can't be Tiger.
It is. It's
Tiger Woods said that shit?
Tiger Woods said that.
Okay, Tiger.
Okay.
I guess if you're Tiger Woods, you can say shit like that.
You can get away with it, man. This one, the quote. People say, "Since you got rich and famous, you become insufferable." I say, that's not true. I've always been insufferable.
I mean,
he is probably going to go into the Hall of Fame. He played for the Denver Broncos.
John Elway.
Nope, he currently is on a talk show.
Shannon Sharp.
Yes, there you go.
Bam!
All right, you got one. You're probably not going to get this one either, but it's just so freaking hilarious. A former NFL coach.
Okay.
On why he brings his wife on road trips. The quote is, "Because she is too ugly to kiss goodbye."
Damn. Straight cash, homie. Team?
I couldn't actually even tell you that. It's Bum Phillips.
Who?
Exactly. All right.
But hey, I have a new respect for whoever the fuck that is, because
that's a hilarious quote.
You gotta go home to that woman, bud.
Exactly. She's like, why would you even say it? She's not gonna read it or hear it somewhere.
Oh, shit, man.
I feel bad for his next week.
Got a set of cojones, dude.
So this comes from one of the most prolific athletes of all time. He is still alive.
Okay.
"I've never lost a game. I just ran out of time."
I mean, in the spirit of everything, Michael Jordan?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I figured you might throw a mic in there.
Yeah, but that's a good quote.
That is
Never
a good
lost
quote.
a game. I just ran out of time.
Which, by the way, have you watched any of that documentary?
I don't have cable.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm waiting for it to hit a streaming platform, and then I'm just going to binge it one weekend because I hear it's great. Is what I hear. I can't wait to watch it.
Alex Smith one, too. We need to watch that. I love Alex Smith.
I guess so. So this is one of my favorite ones because this guy normally doesn't trip up like this. Here's the quote.
Okay.
"I don't think there's anybody in this organization not focused on the 49ers. Chargers.
Oh, God.
Who is usually notorious for not saying a whole lot in press conferences?"
Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Belly.
So I had to throw one baseball one in here for you. I know you're a baseball fan.
And I'll probably get it wrong.
Probably. But I don't know. This one's pretty telling. So the quote is, "I'd be willing to bet you, if I was a betting man, that I have never bet on baseball."
Pete Rose.
Yes, it is. Which I thought, coming from him, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So this comes from a...
Which, by the way, put him in the goddamn Hall of Fame already.
It's about time. Like, let's be honest.
Christ.
We already know Mike was betting on NBA games. Let Pete Rose have his spot. So this comes This is one of my favorite quotes, and there's actually a video out there. This man has like a 2-minute video of all the quotes that he gives reporters, and it's like he's a stand-up comedian in a coach's body, okay? But his name is Bob Green. He's the former Montana Tech football coach. And here's his quote after a close loss. It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in your brand new Cadillac. You got mixed feelings. That's hilarious to me. So yeah, I just wanted to get some other good sports quotes out there.
There's a I think my dad, and I think I got it from my dad one year when I was like 12 or whatever. You ever heard of Yogi Berra?
Yeah, the baseball player.
Yeah. So I know the B word's fucking travesty around here, but Yogi Berra, actually, they put like a book out of like straight Yogi Berra quotes. That man has got his shit together. Yeah.
I love when, because that's what Dustin Colquitt was really good at too.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Colquitt interviews were awesome. I mean, anytime he had something to say, you kind of listened to him. You didn't know what was going to come out of his mouth. The same with, in my opinion, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to start a flame war, but his name is Marcus Peters. All right, so now that that is over with, a lot of these sports leagues obviously have not been able to play recently. NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL. But recently the UFC was able to formulate a pattern in order to get their sport, in front of the audiences, taking the audiences out of live action.
Had a fight?
And had a few fights.
Mm-hmm.
One was Greg Hardy, former Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, he's actually won his 6th straight. But their formula for getting UFC started, a little bit different than the other leagues are going to have to face. But if you had to, if you see that as the light at the end of the tunnel, and obviously they were able to put something together, what do you think the next sporting league will be when it comes time to actually have live sports again?
I mean, I think golf would be obviously even though it's not a team sport, it's not physical. You're not physically interacting with other people on the field, court, ice, whatever. Baseball they've got their plan. I mean, they're shooting July 4th is when they want to get back. They want to play about an 80-game season. No fans to begin with. But I think the biggest hang-up on it is money, because obviously no cap in baseball. And I think MLB probably has the strongest players association. Their union is
yeah.
But it's going to be weird. And another thing about like the UFC, I heard, I don't remember if it was Cormier or whoever it was, don't quote me on that, but he said that when he was in the ring fighting, since there was nobody there.
That was Greg Hardy.
Was it Hardy?
That was Hardy. Yeah.
So we heard one of the announcers. I heard Cormier. I don't know why I heard that, but he fucking heard the announcer telling the broadcast what he was doing wrong, adjusted, and fucking won the bout.
Yeah.
Which I know that's probably pretty. That circumstance would be pretty specific to that type of sport. I mean,
somebody did make a very funny mention that he said, "Man, if the NFL does that the way the UFC does, I cannot wait for Tony Romo to start calling things out and defenses to pick all passes left and right."
Yeah, and it's I mean, light at the end of the tunnel just seems strange, and who fucking knows? Here's another good point. Say you get baseball going, and 10 people on one team that are starters test positive. I mean, what's that going to look like? You just bring minor leaguers up? I mean,
yeah, you can test
days. What if a whole team gets it? Do you shut the season down?
My thing would be this, especially in the case of baseball, who already have talked about, obviously they're going to chop the season in half.
Yep.
Now is the time to do that experimenting. Get weird with it.
Yeah.
This is the best thing. We were discussing earlier, no matter who wins this championship, whoever wins the World Series, it's always going to have an asterisk by it. It's just gonna, okay? Kind of like the holdout season in the NFL. I believe that was 80-something, can't remember off the top of my head, but the Redskins won it. But there's an asterisk on it because you were playing with replacement players for the first 4 or 5 games. So the same thing's going to happen in Major League Baseball. So if you already know that's going to happen, it's kind of like getting a free play. All right, cool. We know this season doesn't really matter. Mulligan, man. So let's do this. 3-second pitch count. You got 3 seconds from the time that you get the ball back from the catcher before you got to pitch that thing again.
Which is, I see where you're coming from. 3 seconds is a little
okay,
quick, but
5-second pitch count.
Okay.
All right, no, I want this going. I want a game done in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
I mean, it will be a good litmus test for what you can do to tweak baseball to get younger fans involved. Because I mean, like we've talked about, you guys don't want to hear shit about baseball. I love baseball. I don't want to change a fucking thing about baseball. But I get it. I mean, it's slow. It's the time in between exciting things happening is a long time.
I want
you know what I mean?
No. But I'm talking about get really weird with it.
No, I know.
You want me to start watching baseball?
Which they won't, but I hear what you're saying, and I think they will test some things out, maybe.
Ryan, you don't hear what I'm saying.
Oh, I hear.
I'm saying the other team gets to put their biggest, beefiest guy out in the outfield when their team is up to bat. And then when the ball is popped up into the outfield, that guy has the option to run and tackle the outfielder who might go and catch the ball. Okay? I'm talking about let's get crazy with it, all right?
I did hear somebody talking about it, and they were just kicking around. I think it was on Cody and Gold, Cody Tapp and Gold and Middays on 610, and they were throwing like crazy wild shit out for baseball, and they said something like, you know, say you have Mike Trout. You know who Mike Trout is.
Everybody knows who Mike Trout is.
I would hope.
Yeah.
So once a game, you can pinch in any batter at any. So say you get the bases loaded, right? And your number 9 hitter's up, and he sucks. Hits 220 and no power. So once a game,
220 sucked. I thought 220 was all right.
It's average. But you can put Mike Trout in to bat for that player, but you don't have to take him out of the game. Because in baseball, if you pinch hit for somebody, whoever you pinch hit for has to come out of the game. They're done for that game. So say your number 9 hitter is a great, you know, outfielder, whatever. He's fast. He plays good outfield, but he just can't hit. So you can put Mike Trout in for that guy one time a game, no matter when it is. So say it's first inning or third inning, you get your 9 hitters up, bases loaded. You can put Mike Trout in to hit in the 9 position, and then once Mike Trout is done hitting, once that at bat is over, everything goes back to normal. Mike Trout doesn't have to come out of the game. Your number 9 hitter, outfielder doesn't have to come out of the game. Nobody has to do shit different going into the next inning. Nothing changes. It just gives you that opportunity one time a game to make something happen.
Yeah, see, that's way too complicated for me. I'm saying F that. Every batter starts with a full count.
Just tackle somebody, God damn it.
Every batter starts with a full count, all right? You can throw 3 pitches and be done with that whole half of the inning, okay? Like, let's get this thing rolling. We can have triple and quadruple headers, okay? Like,
yeah, I want them to experiment a little bit with, because I want people to like baseball. I love baseball, and I want people to be attracted to that game. But I mean, you know, just this whole kind of what we started off talking about. Just what are we gonna do? I mean,
how is it gonna
work
function properly?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, man, what if the whole team tests positive? What do? Do you just tell them they can't play the next 2 games and they forfeit, like for football? Because 2 weeks is quarantine.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. The same thing would go with golf and you know, obviously hockey and things like that. So, you know, it's one of those things that obviously we're gonna have to sit there and monitor. But really, it's gonna come down to, you know, it's, in my opinion, obviously every one of these players at some point are going to be required to sign waivers in order to play, and
probably take pay cuts.
I don't think they're going to take pay cuts.
Baseball players will.
Baseball players
and owners
but
both get hit hard in the pocket. And that's another thing. Like, At what point are the players going to say, we'll take less money, yet the owner owns a fucking team for a lifetime? You know what I mean? A player had, like, football, what's the average? 3 years?
Two. I think it's less
2
than
to
2,
3 years?
really.
So you have 2 to 3 years in the NFL to make your fucking money. So while this shit's going on, are you going to take half of your salary when you know your fucking owner, even if he does take a hit, that he has 20 more years to make that money back, and you're going to be busted up in 4 years and can't make the money?
You gotta really do good things with your stimulus check. This is what you gotta do, man.
My podcast stuff.
This is my podcast stuff, you know. I thankfully got my my Trump bucks today, my Donnie dollars, my
Donnie J.
my COVID cash. Okay, so I'm pretty happy about life right now. Yeah, no, I mean everything's gonna change. It's pretty, you know, we all know it's gonna happen. But I don't think I've said this for the last month or so. When people ask me, "Oh, do you think there's gonna be football?" The cure for COVID-19 will absolutely be found if the NFL thinks that they're gonna lose a single dollar in revenue.
Yeah.
The NFL will single-handedly finance.
That's one league that's they're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that's it. And they have the distinct advantage of they've seen what other leagues are doing, trying to put into practice, the timing of everything. They've had a lot of time to prepare. So I think there's going to be a football season. I do think MLB is going to play a shortened season. I think the NBA, the last news that you heard today, which was Tuesday the 12th, were, you know, managers and owners across the league and league personnel were actually texting players to see if they wanted to play.
Well, that sucks for NBA and NHL. They got cut. I mean, it happened in the middle of their season,
right?
So those two leagues are kind of dealing. They're having to deal with it completely different than baseball.
Well, yeah,
and football.
And I think the NBA, if those reports are true, that they were, you know, messaging players and seeing what, you know, they wanted to do. It's a terrible, terrible way to do it. NBA was about to get into the playoffs, so if you're a team that wasn't already going to make the playoffs, then your answer's going to be like, no, I don't want to play anymore this season. So, you know, you're going to get...
Unless you want to get paid.
Well, I mean, it depends on the structure.
I don't know if they're... I honestly don't know if they're getting paid right now or not. I mean,
NBA to me is just like Major League Baseball, where since all y'all's money is fully guaranteed anyway, I don't care. I would be more concerned with your NHL guys and your NFL guys. And
with NHL guys, you'd be surprised, like...
They don't make nothing.
I mean, you got your guys.
Comparatively,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
you know,
still, $100,000 a year to sit there and get smashed in the mouth over and over,
and ride a bus in some fucking place, Anchorage, Alaska, on some fucking, you know, junior team trying to fucking make it.
It's a tough sport, so it is what it is. I think that pretty much wraps up that whole segment. Did we have anything else we were going to talk about?
I don't know, fuck it. We got a mailbag?
We do have a mailbag. Who's going to announce a mailbag from now on?
We'll make a... Actually, here's what we'll do. Anybody on Twitter that wants to announce a mailbag for us, we'll have you call in soon. You can be the mailbag drop guy or gal.
Yep, sounds good to me. I like it. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so we do have a mailbag. We actually have a pretty fair amount of mailbag questions. We'll go ahead and start with the two that answer directly to the mailbag request. That way I don't lose them. First one being Anthony. You know him. He is the guy that runs, you know, Arrowhead Guys poorly. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. He asks, you can only eat pizza for the rest of your life, but it must be the same pizza each time. Choose the sauce and cheese and only 2 toppings for said pizza.
What? Well...
And it's for every meal for the rest of your life.
Traditional marinara, I mean, red sauce. I don't fuck with that Alfredo pizza bullshit. I mean, if that, like... I like a good, nice tang in the sauce.
All right.
Mozzarella.
Yeah.
2 toppings. I think I'd have to go, this is going to sound weird, and you have to eat this every meal for the rest of your life?
Yep.
Man, I'd probably go Italian sausage and red onion.
Oh, okay. Red onion.
Mm-hmm.
Not the white onion.
Mm-mm.
Gotta be red onion.
Mm-hmm.
No green onion?
Mm-hmm.
No? Not some chives? No?
Mm-mm.
Nothing? No.
Yep.
Red onion.
Italian sausage, red onion, tangy red marinara with mozzarella.
Okay. I'll agree with the mozzarella. I am an Alfredo fan, actually. I do like Alfredo, but usually only when it comes to my two toppings I'm about to say, which would be chicken and mushrooms. And
chicken should never go on pizza. Just this whole this whole pineapple on pizza argument is the same thing for chicken.
Absolutely not. It's bread, sauce, and cheese. Why can you not put chicken on that?
Can't.
Do you eat chicken tacos?
Yep.
Okay, same thing, but Italian, laid out flat.
Nope.
Oh my God, you're so wrong about that. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
That's fine.
I'm
I'll
gonna.
never eat chicken on a pizza ever.
Wow. I'm gonna make a oven grilled chicken pizza for you.
You make, and I'll try it.
No. All right. Deal. This one comes from Stacy at 2 Asgard. I think this is mainly for me and Tony, which is weird because Tony's not here, but she tagged Tony. She said, at Anthony Tattoo You, y'all complain about my questions, yet every week you hit me up, publicly admit you love me. You will not hold my emotions hostage. I will play John Q in this situation and say, you follow through with your promise to actually come through and record a live podcast, either this one or Chop Talk, then I might. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, I'll let Anthony answer the other half of that on next week's Chop Talk. This next one comes from Roan at Roan Evans. He asks, in your best play-by-play voice, call the action.
The guy is drunk!
You're not wrong. That's a good way to start. In your best play-by-play voice, call the action on Earl Thomas getting busted by his wife. The guy is drunk. That's a good.
There's another man in the bed. My God, it's his brother.
I can do the Collinsworth slide. Well, y'all see, here's a guy here that may also like other guys that look like him as a guy. You see, this guy.
She has a knife.
Oh, yeah.
And a pistol.
And you know that the last.
She's pointed directly at him.
Oh, he's gonna have to run. He's gonna have. He's got the gun. He's got the gun now.
He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The police have showed up. Everybody's stopped.
The man is drunk.
I think that went well.
Yeah, well, all right. Yeah.
I think we got a future in that.
It was. I mean, you're better at it than I am. Definitely not a good Collinsworth. Okay, definitely. All right. This next one comes from Carl Hungus at tank_this. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's clean. We don't have to kill, marry, fornicate anybody?
What's happened? It's the Rona.
It's got to be the Rona. This blows my mind. He asks.
Everything has changed.
I don't know who I am anymore. Sammy Watkins' multi-dimensional philosophy is true.
He's gonna put a spell on me.
He has. What do you think is the most likely outcome for both the Patriots and the Buccaneers this season? Will we finally know if it was Brady or Belichick? And there's another one after that, but we'll start with that one.
Patriots, Belichick's Belichick. I know he's had Brady pretty much the whole time, but I just don't. They're gonna have to really, really get sneaky with Belichick's fucked up brain to make it work. I think. I mean, if I put it over under at wins for the Patriots on this season at 7.5, what are you taking?
For the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take over, but that's because I think they're an 8-8 team.
I'd almost take the under, but I think 8-8 is their fucking ceiling.
Yeah, and I mean with the Dolphins getting better, the Bills adding some pieces to a team that was already pretty close to.
Good.
They're Josh Allen, but I would say this. I've always been a proponent that it was Belichick that kind of got that team to where it was based on. Brady basically being a system quarterback. Here's the thing, though. Even being a system quarterback, he's probably better than Jarrett Stidham. And probably. A lot of things that, it's been a dynasty for so long that people have started to kind of not remember that Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, he takes care of the defensive side of the ball. He's better at that. He's better at scheming that up. And I think...
Fair point.
I think that will get them the majority of their wins as long as Stidham doesn't become a turnover machine.
If he doesn't lose it for him.
Right, basically, yes. If Stidham can be Alex Smith, they'll go 9-7. If Stidham is more along the lines of a Jameis Winston without the touchdowns, then you're looking at something very bad going on there. So I do think that the Bucks will have a better record. I think the Bucks are going to make the playoffs, less because of Tom Brady and more because of literally everybody on that offensive cast and Bruce Arians. So that's where I would go with that.
So set the over-under for the Bucks.
For the Bucks, I would set the over-under at, in their division, I'd set the over, if I was an odds maker, I'd set the over-under at 9.5, but I would take the over.
That's exactly what I was going to set it at, and I would take the over by a half game.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're 10-6.
I think 9.5
11-5 if they luck into a win, somewhere around the way. But yeah, that's where I think they're at. The follow-on for his is, which non-AFC West team do you think will be sneaky good this year? He didn't say that it had to be NFC or AFC, just it can't be AFC West. So which non-AFC West team do you
go
think?
first?
I'm going Cardinals. I don't know if that's something that's a sneaky good pick. I think Kyler Murray has some potential. I think that Cliff Kingsbury's got some innovative ability with his offensive play calling. I think they obviously just put, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league on that team and got rid of a 30-year-old halfback. There's a lot of good pieces on that team, and they play in a very tough division with the Seahawks, the Niners. I can see them getting into the playoffs, and if they get into the playoffs, I can see it getting pretty tough. So
I had one that I was thinking about the other day because I have a sneaky bad team, and I'm gonna come out and say it. I don't think that Baltimore's gonna
really. I mean, the Steelers might, because they're getting Martavis Bryant back. Juju's gonna have to play a little bit better.
How about Detroit?
Back. Huh?
Is Detroit a sneaky good pick, or are they gonna be good?
They're never good, and it's usually a terrible bet, but I'm a Matt Stafford stan. I think that he's a lot better than he gets credit for. The problem is Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia's his head coach, and I can't think of one standout offensive player he has playing alongside of him.
All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb, and because, like you said, I like Stafford too. I'll take Detroit.
In a division with the Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, and, well, the Chicago Bears don't count. They have Trubisky, so.
Well, Green Bay, Rodgers is fucking pissed.
That's why I'm saying.
Minnesota,
Rodgers come out shooting.
What was it? What was it 2 or 3 years ago when Diggs made that catch?
2 years ago, the Minneapolis Miracle.
Right. So last year they didn't make much noise, really, right?
No, but Kirk Cousins himself.
Exactly.
No, I mean they went to the play. They beat the Saints in the playoffs, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll stick with Detroit. Fuck it.
All right. Well.
And then, just like every Detroit fan ever, they'll call me an idiot, and I'll be heartbroken.
I mean, even the Detroit fans right now are like, really, dude? This is like, you know how the Cowboys fans are always like, this our year, bro. This our year.
Yeah, but Cowboys
this is like one of those years where the Detroit fans are like, this is definitely not our year, bro.
So that's a sneaky pick.
It's a sneaky pick. You're right. It probably
might be a fucking stupid pick, but.
This one comes from the artist Chief 4K at Corey04. Make sure you check out all of his art. He does an amazing job. He really is, man. He's definitely he gets better with every one of them. His first question is Derek Carr born with it, or is it just Maybelline? And how long before Mariota steals his job?
Born with what?
Eyeliner? I guess. Guyliner, yep.
Yeah, dude, when he broke his leg, that was the end of it. And I'm not even saying because he was crying. Like, if I broke my leg like that, I'd cry too. But I think he's scared. He's done.
He's like his brother.
Carr's done. Wow,
he got hit too much, and
David just sucked.
David had a hell of an arm. It's just he had absolutely no offensive line, and he played for the Texans. So, it is what it is.
What was the second one?
The other one was, how long before Mariota steals his job?
God, I don't like Mariota either, really.
Nobody does. They, in my opinion, they have the absolute worst quarterback room.
As far as quarterback ceiling goes, they're like the exact same.
Yeah, exactly.
So, flip a coin, man. I mean, that's a shit answer, but yeah. Okay, here's my answer. once Derek Carr gets hurt.
I'll give a different answer than that. First off, he's definitely not born with it because that would give him an excuse. And while Lady Gaga, while Lady Gaga might get away with that shit, this dude definitely applies his makeup every day. Probably listening to Lady Gaga.
Applying makeup.
Just Dance. Yeah. And how long before Mariota steals his job? I would say Gruden never really seemed like he was fully on board with Derek Carr. If you watch his quarterback camp, when he was still not a coach and talking about the quarterbacks that were coming out in Mahomes' class, he saw actual talent that was about to be drafted. Got back into the game and got saddled with a Derek Carr. I don't think the relationship is as strong as they outwardly try to make it seem, and even then they don't do a good job of making it seem that way. I could see Mariota getting a shot somewhere around week 5, week 6. If the Raiders end up going 3-3 or 4-2, pretty much would assume that Mariota is going to go ahead and take over.
I think it's going to have to be worse than that.
I don't.
You don't?
I meant 3-3 or 2-4.
2-4, yeah.
Not
I was
4-2.
say 4-2.
Yeah, sorry. 4-2. I think he still keeps his position, but 3-3 or 2-4, and it's Mariota's job to lose from there on out. I think you give him the rest of the year too. So, all right. Next one comes from first-time question asker on Sauced Up Sports, Kathleen at KAlexander1012, and she asks a couple of them, 3 of them actually. Do you think the NFL season will start with fans in the stands?
No. Well, not sold-out stadiums. That's right out the fuck.
That's actually a really good point. They've already instituted some contingency plans to space fans out in these stadiums. Whether that comes to fruition or not, I guess, is really going to matter, where everything else is standing in the outer world before that. But
let me amend my answer a little bit. Who knows? Because, no, honestly.
No, I don't know has been your answer for like 6 of these questions.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know a lot. But no, I'm saying that what if shit does just
disappear?
Just click back to normal,
we would start with fans.
Then there you go. But this is an I don't know completely fair answer, because if you can fucking tell me when this Rona thing's going to be over, then
she's asking for an opinion. If you had to give an opinion right now, you don't think it's going to start with fans in the stands?
Some fans maybe. Some fans like
my dog is
5 to 10,000 at best.
Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest answer, since, it's probably good. If the season started on time, if you're talking preseason, which I didn't even see on the schedule, so I don't know if they're even considering a preseason right now, but if you're talking preseason, you're talking, August. September, I can see there being some fans in the stands. Yes, I would say.
How many people does Arrowhead hold? Do you know right off the top of your head?
I believe it's like 80,000, somewhere in the vicinity of 80,000.
There ain't no fucking way.
Well, maybe not all 80,000,
right,
but 80,000 divide by 6, and then that's what you'd probably have.
So maybe you come can you sit next to the people that you came with?
I would
imagine. And then they space them out. You know what I mean? It's,
right. The logistics behind it are going to be a madhouse.
So yes, fans, absolutely not sold out stadiums.
Okay. Yeah. All right. The next question: how long into the season do you think Carr will break down and cry? About week 6 again. Yeah. If they go 3-3 or 2-4. Yeah. And then, basically, once Mariota trots onto the field with his helmet, and Carr figures he's going to have to go play pocket pool with his brother, who's a horrible announcer, or his other brother, who's so bad at football, he's relegated to coaching high school football, because all the Carr brothers suck and none of them deserve to be on a football
You could
team.
always quit and fucking go be the next Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean with that fucking eyeliner on.
That's not a bad idea.
Might be a good career move.
Jack Sparrow visits San Francisco. That seems like he would be the obvious casting choice.
Fuck that. He'd fucking fall in and drown like the first thing.
Savvy. And her last question is, thoughts about Gronk playing?
I don't know why he did it. Okay. From all reputable accounts, he fucking didn't like Bill Belichick at all. Didn't like the situation he was in that system. And it was more mental than physical. He came out and said it was physical, body breaking down, this and that. Nobody plays in the NFL for that long and then if your body's really got hurt, you go back.
Or you go to the WWE. He was literally about to go wrestle and get
Just
slammed
saying.
to the table. So
I think, I don't think he's gonna do shit. I mean, he'll be average at best.
he might have some numbers because one, him and Brady already have chemistry. Two, they already have another couple very good or decent, depending on how you look at it. But Cameron Brate is no slouch. They also got O.J. Howard. He's a guy I really liked coming out of the draft. We'll see how he ends up playing. But, it's not a bad group to be in. And when you got Godwin and Mike Evans on the other side, I mean, the offense is wide open. You can only cover so many guys. My bad. Yeah, a little Rona cough there. Or burp. Rona. But no, I think he has a chance to put up decent numbers. But if I were him, I probably just would have stepped out when he did, go out on top. That's just my opinion. But it's Gronk, and nobody knows what the hell Gronk's.
Are you surprised O.J. Howard didn't get moved?
I am extremely surprised that Cameron Brate didn't get moved. I didn't think that they were going to move on from OJ very quickly, but I did think that they probably could have flipped Cameron Brate for a 5 or 6. But hey, when you have a quarterback who can't throw for farther than 10 yards anyway, you got to get your guys that are going to clog the middle. So, all right, last one I believe is the last one. I'll check. There got another notification, but Artist Chief 4K at Corey04. I'm not a huge fan of the nicknames that some Chiefs players have. I don't refer to anyone as Showtime or Zeus. Cheetah fits, but it's not great. I love the Legion of Zoom, created by @BritChiefUK. Though, am I alone on this?
I think it depends on who gave you the nickname. If you fucking gave yourself the nickname, I'm out.
Well, yeah, you can't. Everybody had that kid in like middle school who was like, no, call me Snake. And you're like, I'm absolutely not. Now I'm going to call you bitch. Because
right.
That's what it is. Like,
no, I mean, nickname, whatever. Yeah. If somebody else gives it to you, sure. I don't like Jet.
You know what's... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jet. I hate that one. You know what's really weird in my life? Just a little side note here, talking about nicknames. I've gotten 2 nicknames prescribed to me in my life. One was when I was working in the inner city with... people that aren't necessarily my color. And one was by some, I don't want to call them, they're not redneck, but they're rural white people.
Right.
My inner city nickname was D Nacho. My rural nickname was Mexican Joe. And I don't know what the hell it is about me that people want to give me some kind of like Hispanic themed name or anything. Yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love tacos, but that's basically where it ends. But anyway, all right,
Don't we have a guy on the team named Taco now?
We do, Taco Charlton, who's about to be his contract is really good. We're going to talk about that next week. I will say this about Showtime. When I get really drunk and excited, and it's near the end of the game, and I'm just like elated at everything that's going on, and he makes a play, I am apt to jump up and be like, Showtime! Or something like that, like just getting real cheesy with it. Like, I don't call him the franchise unless I'm being ironic about it. PM or 2 p.m. that was going around in the beginning. I'm like, it doesn't really, what's the point? I don't get it. But certain guys have cool nicknames like Nuck. I think Nuck is an awesome nickname, for DeAndre Hopkins.
Chris Jones is Hot Cocoa.
Is it? I don't think it is. Is it?
Look it up. Hot Cocoa.
Okay, well, Black Mamba was a cool one.
That's a good one.
Even though he stole it from Kobe.
Nigerian Nightmare.
That was a badass nickname.
Pretty good one.
Cocksucking fruitcake for Derek Carr. You've
never heard him called that, but
you've never heard anybody call him that.
No,
really.
I can see it though.
I mean, right? It's a fitting nickname. Yeah.
No disrespect.
Yeah. No, obviously, not that there's anything wrong with that. So let me just check this notification, make sure it's not a question. It's not. So that will wrap up the mailbag.
How are we on time? Where are we at?
I have no clue. We're only at 49 minutes.
Let's do picks. Schedule's out. You want to do it?
Yeah, you know what? We'll alternate. You go with the first game and give your pick, and then I'll go with mine after that, and we'll alternate.
I will say that did do. We've already got a $1 pool at work.
Oh yeah.
Because we're all getting paid real fucking handsomely. And I had them going 13-3.
Well, hold on, don't give overall yet.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I want you to know that.
Right.
I had to force myself to pick losses.
I understand. All right,
Do you know what I'm saying?
This is what we'll do. We'll alternate. You go first and give yours, and then if I agree with it, I'll just say, "Yep, I agree."
Okay.
If I disagree, and
Deal.
vice versa. Okay, so you start Texans versus Chiefs.
At Chiefs.
Yeah, banner raising day against the team that's really not really.
Which also, side note, what's that going to look like? Are we going to get screwed out of an
Probably.
awesome banner raising day?
Probably because
Anyways.
Chiefs. You know.
Well, yeah.
Chiefs at Chargers, second game of the season. Chargers are employing Tyrod Taylor. I don't think they're going to switch to Herbert that early in the season, and we kind of own the Chargers, so Chiefs.
Yeah, kind of. All right, Chiefs at Ravens, and I already said it once, a little bit earlier. I think the Ravens are going to slip a little bit. I'm taking the Chiefs.
All right. This is where, and like
This is going to be one here.
we discussed,
Gotta
I have
take
to
us out.
force a loss here. Okay, I'm gonna say after we have completely humiliated them twice, the fact that everybody talks Chiefs and everybody talks down Lamar Jackson, there's going to be a lot of bulletin board material in there. The fact that they fumbled away their entire ability to even see us in the playoffs.
We're definitely their target.
Yeah, and a night game, prime time. I will say this. I will say that this is probably a high potential for the Chiefs to lose again. I will say this as well. If we win that game, then all of the Baltimore Ravens fans can stop trying to act like this is a freaking rivalry, because we will have completely owned you 3-0. If they go 2-0 going into that game and we beat them, that means Lamar Jackson will have lost 6 games in his career, and 3 of them will have been against the Chiefs.
So who are you taking?
The
Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens because I got to give them a loss somewhere. I can't say that they're going to be the 72 Dolphins, okay? If I had to project a loss, I put it this way. I got them. Anyway, I won't.
You're going to hate my losses that I took.
Probably. All right. Patriots at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. It's
not much to say about that.
Yeah. All right. Raiders at Chiefs. Also another win that might get a little trickier down the road later on in the season, but for now, it's a win. Because Derek Carr, in my opinion, is still quarterbacking at that point.
Dub.
All right, Chiefs at Bills.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
Really?
That's one of the. It's not 16-0.
I know, right? You got to force one somewhere. I mean,
I think that's a sneaky, maybe weird, fluky thing, and that's one of the losses that I had. Bills.
And there's a potential for it. I mean, if
primetime game.
Primetime game. If Josh Allen can take a step forward, they added a couple decent pieces. I mean, the potential is there. It's just, to me, the kind of quarterback that Josh Allen is a quarterback that I think we can contain, because you stop him from running, he's not going to do a whole lot just with his arm. And I think that'll be the game plan going in. I will go Chiefs, but I will say this. I do think it will be a tighter game, say something 28-31 Chiefs.
So, and I think the fact that it's hard to pick losses on the Chiefs' schedule because they brought back so many people.
I know. It is. It's ridiculous. All right, Chiefs at Broncos. Broncos basically have the best choice value version of the Chiefs offense, so it doesn't really matter where we play them.
325.
Drew Lock will continue to give his hometown team a win as much as he possibly can, and we win.
I'm taking the Chiefs, but I do think Drew Lock does have the potential down the road to give us problems.
I don't know about give us problems, but I do think he has the potential to be a quarterback, a competent quarterback. I don't think he's going to end up as a Sam Darnold or a Andy Dalton, but I don't think he's going to be a prolific passer either. I think he's going to be a slightly better Alex Smith. Alex Smith 1.5,
which
never wins a Super Bowl.
But you'd still take it to get you to the playoffs and lose.
All right. Next up for you is Jets at Chiefs.
The goddamn Jets. What's the fucking kid's name? And never mind.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah, I mean it's Sam Darnold. At some point, he's going to kiss somebody in the
Jets.
season and catch mono again. So next week, Panthers at Chiefs. Panthers have who at quarterback?
Yep, Chiefs.
All right. Next one, Chiefs at Raiders.
Chiefs. I mean, I want to, like... No, I don't. Chiefs. I was going to say I want to give the Raiders some type of credit at some point, but not really.
No, not really. But I will say this. I do think this is where it gets a little tighter. I think a week before this game is when the Raiders switch over to Mariota. I think Gruden, even though he's not very good at being a head coach, he has had a couple more years in the league to study what an RPO is and use Mariota's physical traits a little bit better. I think the tape won't be there for that particular offense for the Chiefs.
Very true.
And while I do still think we win that game, I can see it also being another close one.
Little nail biter.
34-30 Chiefs
Yeah.
probably. So, Chiefs at Buccaneers.
The history between Tom Brady and the Chiefs is a strange one. And
You're going to be an asshole right now, aren't you?
fuck no, Chiefs! I think the Chiefs are going to be gunning for fucking Brady and Gronk.
I think the Chiefs lose that one.
Now you're pick. All right.
I'm
That's
sorry.
fair. That's fair.
I'm sorry. I do think the Chiefs drop the one at the Buccaneers.
I think the Chiefs 50 ball the Bucks at home.
I think the Chiefs drop the one against the Buccaneers. The way that their offense is set up is basically the way to probably really hurt the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah.
Really speedy wide receivers, which if their quarterback can actually get the ball to him downfield, I think they have the potential to do some damage there.
She can't.
Some really big guys in the middle of the field, which if you're talking about we only have one coverage linebacker, and that's Willie Gay, and he is a rookie. Unless DOD gets on the field, but do you trust little old DOD to tackle a Gronk or a Cameron Brate? It's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those games where the Buccaneers are able to, under Bruce Arians, force us to grind it out, and I can see it being a narrow loss, probably 30-27 Buccaneers.
Mark the tape. Tyrann Mathieu has 2 picks that game.
I would love to see it. I will
Mark
definitely.
the fucking tape.
I'll eat my words, man. I'll eat my words. All right. The next one, Broncos at Chiefs. Chiefs. Next one, Chiefs at fuck you, Broncos. I'm not giving you any respect. You don't get words. Chiefs at the Dolphins at a noon game in December at Miami. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
It's the other one I got.
Tua Tagovailoa.
That's the one I got. That's my third one, man. And I just think that it's one of those games that the Chiefs could look past. And I mean, you got Saints Falcons 2 weeks after that game. That just seems like a game that the Chiefs are like, it's the Dolphins. I know they made all this noise and added all these pieces, had all these draft picks. By that time of the season, fuck, man, Dolphins could be humming.
And the Dolphins added, they got Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson knows Patrick Mahomes. No, fuck that. We're going to smash the Dolphins.
All right, but that's the one
Name
I'm
the Dolphins
down.
head coach.
Yep.
Exactly. Brian Flores.
I remember that guy. I think I went to high school with him.
I'm pretty sure I
Smart fucking guy, from what I remember. Yeah.
Smart guy. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No disrespect to Brian Flores.
Fluky Dolphin loss for my. We're still 13-3.
Rookie quarterback against 2-time MVP, either league or Super Bowl winning MVP. Coach who literally has had no success in the league against Andy Reid. Basically, half of both of their cast are rookies coming into a brand new system with no real time to train in the offseason. I'm sorry. That's a Chiefs win.
Bet you $1.
You know what? How about this? This is the one game that we will bet on. And I will bet you a 6-pack of your favorite beer against a 6-pack of my favorite beer. It is on camera. You're all seeing it. Gentlemen's bet right there that the Chiefs beat the Dolphins or vice versa. All right. The next one up is my third loss of the season. Chiefs at Saints.
I thought you might go that route.
I do think that's in the Superdome. It's probably, let's just be honest. I know they signed into a 2-year contract, but I think this will probably be Drew Brees' last year.
I mean, they've already been trying to get him into the fucking booth.
Well, that, and they're very sold on Taysom Hill. They brought in Jameis Winston, behind that. So eat them W's, like the crab legs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one. And like I said, like we both said, it's gonna be tough to call any of these Chiefs losses because we had the ability to win every single one of these games, but
16-0 is just.
It's not going to happen, and even saying 14-2 makes you sound like a dick. So I had to go 13-3, and that's my third loss. Chiefs at Saints.
And I think the next game, Falcons at Chiefs, noon game. I mean,
Falcons ain't shit. They're not. They ain't shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that, but
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matty Ice
is Alex 2.0. Julio Jones is an absolute beast. Name another player you're afraid of on that team.
I know, but then again, call that tandem not a top 5 tandem in the league.
I will call that tandem not a top 5 tandem in the league.
Really?
Absolutely.
No shit.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. And I'm not going to list
at
them in
number
any
one.
order. I'm not going to list them in any order. I'm just listening. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
As old and battered as they might be, right now, as it stands on paper, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. I mean, they're one of the more prolific matchups of most of NFL history, right?
Then they're gonna fucking not miss a beat as far as in meetings
right. They're already on the same
huddle.
page.
I mean, you're not gonna do shit.
This is gonna blow you out of the water because they're gonna be like, I can't believe you said this matchup. It's Julio Jones. Check this out. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. I have over that. Mainly because of Rodgers, but Rodgers and Adams have more touchdowns together than Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Julio Jones puts up gaudy stats, but he doesn't put up a lot of touchdowns. Then I would probably go. I can go that route. I will, just because he put up big numbers. Garoppolo and George Kittle.
Yeah.
More afraid of that matchup than I am of Julio Jones. And if I had to go 5, you know what, just to piss people off, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And yes, he gets to be on there twice because, damn it, that is such a good connection.
That's a boy!
It's showtime! That's right, franchise! In the last game, Chargers at Chiefs.
Which, by the way, we both picked Chiefs on that, right?
Yeah. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs are probably going to be resting some players and still win this and go 13-3.
Go fucking call Matt Moore, bring him out of his fucking high school classroom again.
Chad Henne and Jordan Ta'amu, and I think we're going to see Tiamu play a little bit. That way we can flip him next offseason.
Dude, I'd love to see the stat on when the last time the fucking Chargers have beat us.
It was,
I mean, I have technology and stuff, but
it was like 2 years ago where...
That's all?
Dude caught that pass in the end zone for the 2-point conversion and beat us.
Okay, so I'd love to see... Okay, I thought it was longer than that, but I would love to see Chiefs versus Chargers for the last 15 games.
Yeah, no. The stats are gaudy, definitely on our side. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes has only lost, I think it was, one divisional game. It's if I remember correctly, in Andy Reid's tenure...
Which we probably don't.
I probably don't. But in Andy Reid's tenure, there's something like 27-10 against the division or something like that, or 17-10 or something like that.
In the West, we're like 27-3 or some crazy shit.
Patrick Mahomes has only lost one game against.
Oh, that was Alex Smith though. That was with Alex Smith.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. During Andy Reid's tenure, it's like 27.
We both just went.
Yeah. But yeah, 6, 12, 18, 24, 32. That makes sense. The math adds up. So
we're both 13-3. Couple different losses.
I cannot wait to get my 6-pack of beer on December 13th, 2020 at about 3:30 p.m. when the Chiefs roll over the Miami Dolphins.
Look at it this way. They already did us a favor last year. Fuck. We owe it to them.
We don't owe them shit.
I agree.
We don't owe them shit.
That was a complete lie that I just said.
All right, well, let's make sure that you all drop your schedule predictions down. Tell us where we got it wrong, where we got it right. Make sure you hit the Pez Choir Fool up on the Twitter at the Pez Choir Fool. You can hit up Sauced Up Sports as a whole
Twitter,
because I'm not
Facebook,
allowed on Twitter.
Instagram.
We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on all that stuff. So yeah, make sure you hit us up. Next week we'll be discussing a couple other really fun topics that have been mulling around in my head, but needed to flesh out a little bit more. It's going to be a good time. Check out Shop Talk at Arrowhead Guys, and also just go ahead and hit up Arrowhead Guys. We will see you next week, hopefully with some better recording material and sound a whole lot more professional. And hopefully this video doesn't look as shitty as I feel like it's going to. So
stay safe, stay healthy, don't cough and breathe on people. We love you.